Turning 20 can feel like the beginning of everything, like the clock has started and you have to get everything right immediately. But I actually think about it differently. I think at 20, you are 0 years old in adult years. Yes, listen, I know that officially adulthood is at 18 in many places, but in reality, many of us are still children in our teens. So between the ages of 18 and 20, you are on adulting level 0. And I hope this gives you some sort of relief because you're literally just beginning and have so much room to figure things out. There are many things I wish I knew at 20, things I genuinely wish someone had sat me down and told me. So if you're 20 right now, or maybe you're older, I hope something here lands for you. And make sure to stick around for number 10 because it's the most important thing I've ever done for myself. Let's get into it. Number 1. Instead of chasing optimization, make more mistakes. I know that sounds counterintuitive considering the culture of the societies we live in. Everywhere you look is about becoming your best self, waking up at a certain time to prove that you're serious. Eat this, do that, have a 10-step morning routine, be optimal, be productive, be perfect. And especially if you come from a certain kind of home or a certain kind of background, there can be this immense weight of responsibility on you. This feeling that if you don't do everything right now, your entire future will fall apart. But here's what I want to tell you, okay? If no one has told you, go to the party. Please, date the person, skip the thing, eat the thing, pick the wrong course. Okay? Pick it. Say the wrong thing. Make the mistake. Sometimes you really have to live according to the great philosophy of FAFO. Fuck around and find out. I swear there is genuine wisdom in that. Some things cannot be taught by other people. They have to be lived. They have to be learned through doing, through failing, through trying something and watching it not work and then trying to figure out what to do next. If you become too rigid, if you're too afraid to deviate from the right path, you lose out on variety. You lose out on joy. You lose out on actually having a life. There is no single right path. There is only the choice you make and then what you do with that choice. So please go fail. In that failing, the lessons that are yours and yours alone will appear. Number 2. Reduce the mental load and zero in on yourself. Okay, so this one follows naturally from the first one. One of the reasons it's so hard to make mistakes, to take risks, is because we are carrying around this crushing fear that every single decision we make right now will define our entire future, our entire life. That if we take the wrong turn at 20, we'll be paying for it at 40 or 50. And with a lot of fear mongering online, I'm not surprised that we all believe it. But the thing is, it's simply not true. Yes, there are consequences for our actions. Every action you take has consequences, physics, okay? For every action, there is a reaction. However, a life lived in fear usually ends in regret. You have to trust that the decisions you are making today are just a chapter of your life, not the whole story. Think about when you were a kid. Everything felt ginormous. Every no, every yes, every scolding felt like the world was coming to an end. But looking at it now from your grown perspective, you understand that child. Yes, you understand your child self, but you know that in relation to you, it's not that big a deal. Okay? That's how your 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old self will look at the things that you do in your 20s. So get really honest about whose voice is in your head. Because a lot of the things we think we want, we don't actually want it. Coin. Yeah. We want them because our parents want them, because our culture says we should want them, because we've absorbed other people's dreams and carry them around like our own. So I want to give you the permission right now to put those things down. This might feel uncomfortable to hear, but you don't actually owe your parents anything. I know. But stay with me. Your parents brought you into this world. If they were good parents, they gave you love, they gave you care, they gave you resources. But what a truly good parent does, the real gift they give their child is personhood. The freedom to become your own person. That's it. So if your parents did their best but they didn't quite give you that freedom, I'm giving it to you right now. Not that I have the right to, but I'm trying my best. You are allowed to live for yourself. At 20 especially, zero in on yourself. Ignore the noise. Figure out who you are, what you want, what actually makes sense for the way you are wired. Okay? Number 3, you really have to live like it's happening right now. Stay present. This sounds generic, but listen, I was having a conversation recently with my mother, and she said to me, you really have to live like it's happening right now, girl. It stopped me because so much of my young life, my teens, my early 20s, even parts of my childhood, I was so focused on where I was going, on the next thing, on the future, on the plan. But my mom said to me, listen, you blink and you're 50. And you're still thinking about where you are headed. You're still thinking about where you are going. And life has passed you by. You haven't even lived a bit because your whole life was about where you were going, not where you are. Yes, the fear of the future is very, very valid. Yes, planning for your future is necessary. Making decisions with your future in mind is necessary. But please, please let yourself be here in this moment, because this moment is your actual life. Tomorrow is not promised. Number 4, go more clubbing, or at least do more public dancing. This might feel like generic advice since a lot of media depicts our 20s as the years of fun and recklessness, but many 20-year-olds are bogged down by life and stress and trauma, and instead of going out, instead of doing the usual expected partying and having fun, we isolate. This was me at 20. I didn't go out much, and I have always loved dancing. Listen, I dance everywhere till today, and even back then I danced everywhere. But I was never really able to do social outings because I'm very sensitive to stimulation, the lights, the noise, the chaos of being in a packed club. So I avoided it. But now that I'm older and I go out much more, and what I've realized is that the key is to curate your experience. You don't have to go to the blazing, flashing, wall-to-wall, sweaty club if that's not for you. You don't have to go to expensive places. You and your friends can literally gather in somebody's house and do a house party. Right now, I go to jazz bars, speakeasies, intimate spaces with low, consistent lighting, places where there are tables and a dance floor and live music. I love live music. And you can sit and you can dance and even chat with other people who like a drink and a groove. And you have these conversations and you make friends. And remember, you can be sober and still have the time of your life. Just curate it. I'm sober, so I would know. Dancing is spiritual. In my culture, it's spiritual. In many cultures, it's spiritual. Shake your bum often. It releases tension. That stress that is keeping you in your room, I'm telling you, go and dance often, and a lot of it will be going away. It changes your energy. It's one of the most primal, joyful, embodied things you can do. Go outside and dance more. And if you don't have people to go with, great, go alone. Number 5, study your skin type. This is something I wish I'd figured out sooner. Listen, in my teens and real early 20s, I was trying everything, every new product, every trending serum, whatever was getting talked about, and I was breaking my skin barrier in the process. Listen, at some point I was putting lemon on my face. Lemon, raw lemon on my precious face. Please, somebody go back to that time and stop me because it was crazy. I was putting raw lemon on my face. Once you actually understand your skin type, what your skin actually needs, everything gets simpler. Some of the products I use right now, I've been using them for nearly 8 years. That's why I'm quite reluctant to do here's my skincare routine when people ask me, because it's my skin. I understand my skin. So I've been using the same things, the same routine, because once I found out what worked for my skin, I stopped chasing trends. So instead of buying everything because someone on the internet called it life-changing, figure out what your skin actually needs right now. Okay, is it hydration? Is it pore care? Is it barrier repair? Buy for that specific need and stick to that routine. And adjust only when your skin's needs genuinely change. My skin tends to act a bit different in summer than in winter. So I switch up 1 or 2 things, but it's the same thing. I just, switch them every year. It saves you money, it saves you time, and your skin will thank you. Number 6, travel more, whatever that looks like for you. Before I say anything on this point, I want to be very clear and acknowledge passport privilege. I was born in Nigeria. I know what it's like to have no passport privilege. I know how dehumanizing, how dehumanizing the visa processes are. So when I say travel more, I do not mean just hop on a plane, bestie, or come with me while I go eat breakfast in Paris, lunch in Greece, and dinner in Sweden. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is expand your world in whatever way your passport and your budget allows. If you're in London, take a weekend in Manchester. If you're in a city, explore the cities nearby. Move to a different state. Do slow travel. Go for an event somewhere new. Look up which countries are visa-free on your passport and go to those places. Find countries with good diplomatic relationships with yours. Find the border crossings you can do by bus. The point of travel isn't an Instagram post and telling the world that you went. The point is exposure, meeting different people, seeing how different communities live. It expands your reference points and it changes how you see the world and how you see yourself. So however that looks for you, travel more. Number 7, take up a sport. Listen, I'm dyspraxic. So I say this with full awareness that sports can feel inaccessible for some of us. My motor coordination has always been a bit off. I used to walk into poles. I used to just trip on air. And then I would just fall. I'll be walking, and I've disappeared. Where am I? Inside a fucking gutter on the floor because I didn't see it, okay? I had once had a fall that was bad enough that I ended up in the hospital, MRIs, x-rays, and the whole shebang. So I spent a lot of my youth just avoiding group physical activity because I was afraid of hurting myself. Also, to be honest, I was quite afraid of looking stupid because I knew automatically that I would be bad. I knew there was no miracle. I knew that any physical coordination thing, I would suck more than everybody else. I was just afraid of looking bad and stupid. But here's the thing about team sports. They teach you something that many other activities don't teach like that. They teach you how to consistently and visibly show up and fail in front of other people. When you're in a team, you get to suck. But unlike many other activities, you can't hide. Okay? You suck and you keep going. And in that going, you get incrementally better. And that skill is one of the most valuable things you can have as a human being. It will help your art. It will help your creativity, your confidence. And then let's not forget the added benefit of socialization and health and fitness. And it doesn't have to be like a high stake sport. Like it can just be a local group football. I don't know, once every Wednesday, just join something. It can be a dance. It doesn't have to be sports in the traditional sense of it, but like a group teamwork effort, something that you do as a group that everybody in the group relies on the other person for the thing to come to fruition. Number 8, go toward your edge. This one goes in different directions depending on who you are. I'm someone who by nature does everything alone. Okay, I don't need people to do anything with me. I'm very comfortable with my own company. Is genuinely my default. So for me, that stretch, the thing that pushes me is including other people. If you're like me, do more stuff with other people. Yes, it will be inconvenient. Duh. Yes, people will get on your nerves. Duh. But do it anyway. Because by spending time with more people, you learn how to navigate relationships. You learn how other people think. You learn how you think in relation to other people. You discover things about yourself that you can only discover in community. If you're the opposite, if you're someone who needs people around for everything, and you've never really spent any time with yourself, flip this advice. Learn to be alone. Do things solo. Take yourself out. Sit with yourself, by yourself. The point is to go toward your edge. Go towards the thing that is slightly uncomfortable. That's where the growth is. Number 9, this is a very specific kind of advice, but realize that most people don't say what they mean. I'm a very literal person. I say what I mean what I say. I don't circle around things. I just say the thing. And it took me a while to fully internalize that most people are not like this. So what I would tell my 20-year-old sweet girl Pearl is pay attention to people's actions, not just their words. Watch what people do. Watch what they choose. Watch the patterns. And I've been quite lucky with this because my pattern recognition is really, really strong naturally. But I've learned that people reveal themselves through behavior far more honestly than through speech. Words can be polished. Actions are almost always honest. And finally, the big one, learn your neurotype. Oh my fucking God. I did consider making this my number 1, but I left it for last because I wanted to stay with you. There is nothing, and I mean Nothing more important than knowing how your mind works, how you are wired, how you process information, how you experience the world, what your brain needs to function at its best. There is so much advice out there about how to live, what to do, where to go, and most of it will cripple you. In fact, it will crush you to fine dust if you don't know how you operate, because that advice was written or conjured by somebody else for their brain, for the way their brain works, not yours. Okay? So once I understood how I neurologically function, so much of my life made sense. I finally understood why I couldn't tell time until I was 14. Even with all my A's and awards, put a clock in front of me and I didn't know left from right. I understood why. Till today, I still have to raise up my right hand to know that is my right hand and raise up my left hand to know that is my left hand. I understood why I kept walking into things, why certain environments make me feel insane, why certain types of learning or work are nearly impossible for me, why my world is the way it is, why certain things that many people struggle with come naturally to me. If I hadn't eventually figured out and sought confirmation for how my brain works, I would have spent my whole life thinking I was broken, too much, mean, or even stupid or careless. And I'm not any of those things, okay? I just have a different neurology. Knowing who you are means you can sift advice. You can hear something and ask, does this actually work for me? Okay? Or how can I make this work for me? Doesn't mean that the advice is bad. It's just, okay, that's how it works for this person. But for somebody like me, someone who experiences the world this way, how can I tweak this advice so that it works for somebody whose mind and body operates like mine? You can curate your life around your actual experiences, not the experience someone else thinks you should be having. This is why I curate my club experiences. It's why I make the career choices I make. This is why I'm not a practicing lawyer or a practicing doctor. Okay. I could have been Dr. Pearl, but I'm not. I could have been barrister Pearl. I am not. It's why I know which advice to take and which to set aside. Know yourself. Know how you are wired. Everything else follows from there. So, my mouth hurts. Okay, so those are the things I would tell my 20-year-old self. You have so much room to figure it out. So take a breath. That is more than a breath. Make the mistakes, know yourself, stay present, and trust that you are going to be okay. That's been me for today, and I will see you in the next one. So every night I lay in bed, a different color fills my head. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Oh. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Yes!